Hello students, welcome to Like Slits. In our previous class, we have discussed about different kinds of orbits. In this session, let's learn about types of satellite. First kind of satellite is communication satellite. Communication satellite, it provides services like communication satellite, it provides services like telecommunications, television broadcasting, satellite news gathering, societal applications, weather forecasting, disaster warning, search and rescue operation. Search and rescue operation. So these are the functions of communication satellite. So if we observe the Indian national satellite, in short, we can call that as INSAT. INSAT can be called as Indian National Satellite. I in Indian, N in national, and SAT in the satellite is made into INSAT. These have a series of satellites in the geostationary orbit. We have learned about this geostationary orbit in our previous class. So, what are the different kinds of satellites that are placed in this geostationary orbit? Let's look into that. First one is the INSAT 3A, INSAT 3C, INSAT 4A, INSAT 4B, INSAT 4CR. These are used for the communication purposes. All these satellites are used for the communication purposes. Next comes the GSAT series. These are also joins the constellation of this INSAT system in providing the communication services. So let's look into the Earth observation satellites. What are the functions of these Earth observation satellites? Earth observation satellite. So now let's look into the different kinds of functions which are performed by the Earth observation satellite. First one, we can see that agriculture covering or urban planning, water resources, rural development, mineral prospecting, environment, ocean resources, forestry, disaster management are the functions which are taken care by this Earth observation satellite. Next, we have to learn about the Indian remote sensing. Indian remote sensing. In short, we can call that as IRS. IRS series of satellites, they are located on the sun synchronous orbit. We have learned about this orbit also. Sun synchronous orbit, sun synchronous polar orbit are the Earth observation satellites. So, satellites in this sun synchronous orbit are starts with resource sat 1 and 2 2A. Next one is the Cartosat. Cartosat also have a series of satellites: Cartosat 1, Cartosat 2, Cartosat 2A, and Cartosat 2B. Next comes the Resat 1 and 2. Next comes the Ocean Sat, Ocean Sat 2. Next one is Mega Tropics. Megatropics. This is also another kind of satellite which is located in sun synchronous orbit. Next comes the Saral. Saral is also a satellite which is located in sun synchronous orbit. And SCATSAT. SCATSAT is also a satellite which is located in the sun synchronous polar orbit. So these are the different kinds of satellites or Earth observation satellites. Next comes the navigation satellite. Navigation satellites, these are used to meet the emerging demanding of positioning and navigating. Nowadays we are using different kinds of GPS systems to get into a proper road or a proper way. So these are the satellites which gives that and navigation, positioning, navigation, and timing. And also, civil aviation requirements are also taken care by these navigation satellites. So, let's name the different kinds of these navigation satellites. In that, first comes the Gagan, and IRNSS, Navik satellite. This provides the navigation to the different kinds of organizations, like for the human purposes and for the civil aviation purposes also. So these are the different kinds of navigation satellites which are used for the navigation. Next one is the GPS aided geo augmented navigation. So this is the satellite Gagan. Its full form is what? GPS aided GPS aided geo augmented navigation. It is implemented jointly by the ISRO and Airport Authority of India. In short, AAI, Airport Airport Authority of India. The main objectives of this Gagan are to provide the satellite based navigation services with accuracy and integrity, which are basically required for this civil aviation applications, and to provide the better air traffic management over Indian airspace. So, Gagan signal in space. Gagan signal in space, SIS, signal in space. This one, it is available through GSAT 8 and GSAT 8 and GSAT 10. GSAT 8 and GSAT 10. Indian Regional Navigation Satellite. This IRNSS is nothing but Indian Regional Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. In short, we are calling that as IRNSS or NAVIC. It is an independent regional navigation satellite system to provide the accurate positioning information service. Next one is the space science and exploration satellites. What are the functions of this? We know astronomy, astrophysics, astronomy, astrophysics, different kinds of space studies that has to be taken care of, like planetary and earth sciences or the atmospheric sciences. Theoretical physics studies are taken care by this space science exploration satellites. So let's look into the different kinds of functions of this space science and exploration satellites. By looking at this term only, we can understand these are the satellites which are very much useful for the observation and exploration of the different kinds of the things which are taking place in the universe, and different kinds of aspects of the astrophysics and the observations which have been made in the uh, universal universe, or the universal studies which are taken care of are done by this space science and exploration satellite. So astronomy, astrophysics, planetary and earth sciences, planetary and earth sciences, that means it is actually taken care of the studies, like we are observing if the we are observing if the life is possible on Mars or not. So, because it is very much near to the Earth, and we are actually identifying and observing about the survival of the human being on that Mars. So with this satellite only, we are actually observing different kinds of planets for their activity and different kinds of functions. And it is also observed for used for atmospheric sciences, different kinds of sciences in the atmosphere, and theoretical physics. Theoretical physics. So, what are the different kinds of the space science and exploration satellites which are used for this space observation? First comes the Mars Orbiter mission. First one is Mars Orbiter mission. Next one is the Astro Sat. Next one is the Chandrayaan. How many Chandrayans we have? Chandrayaan 1 and Chandrayaan 2. These are the satellites which are used for observing space and exploring different kinds of activities in the space. So, this is about the different kinds of satellites which are used and their functions. So, this is very much important in your science and technology part in that space technology. So next we'll discuss about the launch vehicles, different kinds of launch vehicles and how they function and why they are very much important. Different kinds of launch vehicles which are launched, which are unveiled in 2022 also. We are going to learn that in our next session. So if you follow these videos or these sessions, you'll have a better understanding about the basic space technology. We are going to do the series of videos which are very much helpful for the science and technology, which is not understandable by many of the people if they are not observing properly in the classroom. These videos might be helpful for them.